So today I'm going to continue where we left off, which is, well, we had this. So we still had quite a long road until we're at the finished song. So welcome back to the making of Strangers Do, part 2. So what came next after this idea was down was the realization that, alright, now I need a vocal. This is where Paul comes in. So this is Paul. I wrote the vocal with him and the vocalist, thus I thought I'd explain a bit who he is, because he's probably going to be in a lot of future videos. So all our youth, Paul and I, lived like a 5-minute drive away from each other, but we didn't know each other until I started releasing music like 3 years ago, and he became a big fan of the songs. He started sending me demos of his songs. And they were horrible. They were absolutely horrible. But he improved so fast and took my feedback to heart and was very eager to learn, and I was super impressed. So I ended up inviting him to my studio and I started teaching him what I knew, and after a while, not only did he become an insane producer and songwriter, we actually ended up becoming best friends, and now Andres, Paul and I live together and also share our office building, like house with the studios in, right across the street, with Eric, who is trying to keep his composure behind the camera, trying not to laugh. Now, Paul and I don't actually produce together, except for some pop stuff, but we write vocals together and in general help and push each other to sleep a little less and work a little harder every day. So that might have been a boring story to listen to, but now Paul is pretty much bald, which should make up for it. Right, open your eyes.
Holy shit!
So anyways, we had recently been recommended a vocalist in Oslo named Aden. Thus, I set up a studio session ASAP to write something on this idea. I didn't really have high hopes, as I had just heard like a small clip of her singing, and you never know with the first sessions how they're gonna end up. I think this was in like June-ish. So anyways, she comes in, we say hi and talk about the weather for a minute, and then I play her the song. That's when she starts singing. Out of nowhere, she sings the verse melody with one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard. It was like so vulnerable and full of emotion. The melody and her voice just fit perfectly with the song, and Paul and I just sat there in shock pretty much. We both had like tears in our eyes and goosebumps all over. It sounds super exaggerated, like cliche and all that, but it was seriously the craziest experience I've had in a studio session. But yeah, needless to say, we all clicked instantly. She's awesome and super talented. So we started right away and we wrote the lyrics all together, came up with this concept. I had already had the theme Strangers Do from a vocal sample I had in the project from before, which is what we based it on, and I wrote around that because I thought it fit the vibe. So it starts with the words "hold up," which instantly grabs the listener's attention, using such words like in Chainsmokers' Closer, which literally says hey, is a powerful tool to use when writing. The two verse lines are also almost identical. It ends with the same words and says the same thing just a bit differently, which makes it flow nicely. But anyways, now we had the verse, we felt like it was pretty dope, and we started writing the chorus. We came up with something, and then that wasn't good enough. We tried something new, and that wasn't good enough. Nothing worked. We probably tried for like 10 hours straight, which is never a smart thing to do. We decided to call it quits and sleep on it for a little while. We did another session a few days later, but still couldn't come up with anything. So we had to sort of hit a wall with the record, and we were stuck. And what happened next will shock you. I'm joking, but I'm gonna have to continue with the story next week, as I have a lot of stuff I'm finishing up in the studio. So I'll see you guys then. Remember to subscribe because of the cheesy cliffhanger. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, see you guys next week.
Hold up, just wait a second longer. Hold up, just stay a moment longer.